real hate us.
Okay, recording.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? We're gonna go for a ride through Bonita Springs. We're gonna go to the Latino side of town. On the north side of town is a Latino neighborhood here. It's mostly Guatemalan. Most people assume they're Mexican, but most of them are Guatemalan. Good, hard-working community here in Bonita Springs. There's a few little Latino stores around here. These are the people that cut the lawns, trim the trees, clean the toilets, carry the heavy stuff, and get paid the least for all their hard work. Tortilleria La Señorita is a little tortilleria here.
They're good.
Are they good?
Yeah.
They're alright, weren't they? We used to go
We
once
ate
in a while.
there and it was really good.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Huh?
If you say so.
No, we ate there a couple times. Really good. We just were here, so we never did.
So anything between Bonita Drive and Rosemary Drive is a predominantly Latino neighborhood out here. People getting their water cut off. For real. It's the first of the month. You don't pay that bill. Man, you're starting to see some stuff that reminds me of 2007, 2008. Starting to see all those things all over again. And this is the Latino neighborhood. You can see they're putting a roof on that one. Here, some of these houses, there might be 5, 10 people living in a single family home. 10, 15 people actually in some of these. You pay like $400 a month, so whoever's owning that house is making, 3 times what it's actually worth in rent out of the place. And all you get is a mattress on the floor somewhere. So it's kind of a system created to exploit these people who come here to work. They get paid little, and then on top of the fact they're getting paid little, and they're also getting extorted for rent. And then on top of that, sometimes when they go work for other people, they don't get paid. There's a roofing guy out of Cape Coral who comes here, picks them up. And there's another guy out of Cape Coral that does pavers. They do pavers, brick pavers. That's hard work. And they pick the guys up, and then when it's time to pay them, the guy pulls out a little piece and says, "Vámonos, muchachos, go home." And they're afraid to obviously call law enforcement because 1, it's a civil dispute, and 2, they're illegal, and 3, you guys got a little something on them. So they grab these guys and extort them, and then they'll pay them. And basically, it's an entire system created to exploit these people to come here to work, to do all the jobs that me and you don't want to do. I sure as crap don't want to do it. And I'm getting tired of working physically. I'm looking for something a little bit more dignified at my age already. I did it when I had to, but I ain't gonna do it forever. The size of those limestone rocks they pulled out of there. They're big. But at the end of the day, this is the Latino community here, which is there's a system in place to exploit their vulnerability. Believe that. Believe that. There's a system in place to exploit the vulnerability of these people. And most are just trying to buy a little pickup truck and don't think they're poor. That's the other mistake people assume. They think these people are living, and they think, oh, they're starving in their country. They ain't starving. They got Guatemala on Google Earth now. You can look at Google Earth and see Guatemala right now. It ain't that bad. It's actually the most beautiful land in Central America. It's gorgeous. They got big mountains, big rivers, coconut trees are everywhere. It's beautiful. The houses are gigantic. So, they're coming here because it takes money to make money. So they come here to get the money. Once they save up a few $100,000, they're not gonna stay living here. All these people want to live in our country, and they don't want to live here. They want to make some money so they can go back to Guatemala and be with their families and really enjoy the money. Yeah, I'm gonna have to excuse me. Ever since I got here to Florida, my sinuses have been horrible. That red tide got me all messed up, guys. My eyes are all red and look like I'm stoned out of my mind, even though I'm not. That red tide thing's going around. Got me all messed up, man. But don't assume that these people here are poor in their countries. You know what I mean? They come here to work so they can get ahead. Once they got 100,000, 200,000 or more, they already own the land in their country. All they need is to put up a house. Once they put up a house, buy a few tractors, buy a truck, they're gonna live in their country, and then they start buying animals. Is what they do. Sorry, guys. That's really what it's about out here. That's really what's happening out here, man. But don't assume they're poor in their countries. You know? Don't ever assume that the people that come here to work they're living in bigger houses in Guatemala than the houses they're cleaning here. I've seen them like laugh, you know, like they think these are houses. You should see what I got, because you know, once you get to know them and they think you're cool, they'll share a little bit more of their lives with you. And I hired a lot of people here, and a lot of them were cool, man. They, you know, once they saw you were a cool guy, they said, "Look at my house in Guatemala. You know, I got 100 acres. I got, you know, I got so many head of cattle. I got so many lamb. I got so much this, so much that, sheep, goats. I don't know what types of crap they got out there." And eventually, what it's about is, you know, they're gonna go back to their country and be able to bring a pickup truck, a new pickup truck, Toyota, or you know, whatever truck they like. Nissan, Toyota's popular over there. Once you got a brand new pickup truck, that'll last you forever, you know. Especially in a small country where you're not traveling large distances. Get a little pickup truck, get a little tractor, buy a few hundred head of cattle or whatever. They multiply, they eat grass, you got land. I mean, it's a no-brainer. They can really, you know, the few $100,000 they're taking back to their country can really go a long way over there. And once they have enough money over there, it starts to multiply because animals breed, right? Then they get to the point where by no means do they want to live here. I mean, if you're under the notion that a lot of these people want to live here, you're truly mistaken. They don't want to live here. You think they want to live here in these trailer parks and full of cockroaches and stuff like that? They don't want to live here. They got real estate. Real estate in their country. They just come here to work, save a little money so they can get ahead, because the thing about those countries over there is you can't get ahead. You can't really, you need something to get started with. But once you get started, once you got something, it takes money to make money. It's just getting the money, that's the hard part. And it's the same way here. It takes money to get money. But the thing about the life in the United States is it's real easy to spend that money once you get it here. You know, once you get that money, you can really go through it quickly here. Mexicans, for a while, a lot of Mexicans were trying to start over here because, you know, Mexicans their situation's a little bit different. But Mexicans are no longer the largest demographic here with Latinos. You know, now you have a lot of Puerto Ricans in North Florida, where mostly used to be Cubans in Florida. Now Cubans are smaller. There's only 1 million Cubans in Florida, and there's far greater number of Puerto Ricans, like 1.1 or 1.2 million Puerto Ricans. So now there's more Puerto Ricans than Cubans in Florida. So it's definitely a changing demographic within the Latino community. Very transient for the most part. The recent arrival from Puerto Rico is because of the situation they got with natural disasters. That's really been hard for the population to continue. There's a music video that's been filmed right in this neighborhood, right on this street. It's called 239 Soldiers, with a SOLJA, 239 Soldiers. It was filmed on this little street right here. He's a kid from around this neighborhood. So being this the least desirable place in Bonita Springs to live, they put a homeless center, you could say. It's kind of like a place where you can get food or whatever. I don't know what it's called, a homeless kitchen or whatever. And they obviously threw it at the end of this residential. Look how messed up this is. You've seen how many zigzags we have to go through to get to the end of this neighborhood back here? All right, way at the end of the neighborhood. All right, this is the only way to drive. It's a dead-end neighborhood. You gotta drive all the way from the gas station here. It's a dead-end neighborhood. There's only one way in, one way out. Or two, actually. Bonita Drive and Rosemary. We came into Bonita Drive, and they're parallel to each other. That's the only way in and out of this neighborhood. And with that situation, they put at the end of this neighborhood one of those soup kitchen things for people that are vagrant. And the locals didn't like it, but then they didn't really get too much of a voice about it because most of the residents here, you know, don't really have much of a voice, you could say. Don't really have too much of a voice. So they stuck it here, and now the people that live back here have had an increasing number of vagrant people going through this neighborhood, which it used to just be a nice, quiet little community of migrant workers. Now you got all these transient people back here, and sometimes it brings people to the neighborhood that the locals would probably quite rather not have here. But there's not much of an option. They did put up, you know, a little soccer field, a little kitchen, but you know, the locals were kind of against having a bunch of people that are transient coming into the residential community just to get food. I mean, who would want that in their, I know I wouldn't. Who would want that in their neighborhood? I know I wouldn't. I mean, they could have put it in a parking lot somewhere along the main road, wherever. They just kind of stuck it back here. It's kind of like, here, we're going to put the trash here for now. You know? But that's how it is here in Florida. I mean, you know, if you're the poor guy at the bottom, you're always gonna get stiffed. That's how it is. But most people here are working right now. This is a working class community, so there ain't really too many people here in the daytime. Ah, crap. Man, there really aren't too many people here in the daytime, to be honest. In the daytime, this is kind of a ghost town. Everybody's working. After 6 o'clock, this place is packed with people. Like I said, some of these houses got 10, 15 people living in them. You know, a lot of them are legal too. A lot of them have a worker's visa. They're allowed to come and work for a little bit, make some money, and then they can head back. You know, it changed a lot. A lot has changed for the worse, you could say, in this community of Bonita Springs. A lot has changed for the better too, but since I left in the last 5 months, I don't see. It's a good place for. It's not as bad as people, you know. As far as families, there's good families out here. I mean, you got people here that are making money, saving money. You know, hard-working families here in Bonita. Hard-working families, making their money, taking care of their family, getting ahead, really too. You know, it's the people that are transient that are most vulnerable to being exploited by all that. But for the most part, it's not too bad. For the most part, it's just you know, good hard-working people here. Really hard-working people. And a little pig in the mailbox. That is hilarious. Just a bunch of good, hard-working families. And that's it. That's the Rosemary neighborhood. There's always historically been gangs back here over the years. I'm not going to mention which gangs, but there's gangs from Texas that have kind of been here on and off throughout the years. So not everybody has the same hard-working. Now that's one thing I can say about Bonita is these are the people that cut the lawns, trim the trees, dig the holes, and do all the other hard work in Naples that nobody else wants to do. Is done by the people that live here. Gente bien trabajadora. Good people. I can't wait till all these coconut trees, Maybe when all these big mango trees get big, all these coconut trees get big, it's gonna be pretty back in here. But they're not allowed to build houses back here, are they? I don't think they're. That's the one thing I don't get about zoning in this area. It's like, you got a neighborhood where they got mobile homes. Let them take out the mobile homes and put in a house. No, they're only allowed to put in mobile homes. Who wants to live in a freaking mobile home? Let them tear it out and put it in a house, you know? But they won't. Because eventually they know they want to buy it out and tear it all out, and then they have to deal with septic tanks. It's kind of grimy how it's set up to where like 40 years from now, it's still going to be garbage because they don't allow zoning. And they don't allow you to get ahead. Oh, they got the Pope. You know, they don't really allow zoning to people to get ahead, really. Alright, y'all, so that's a tour of Rosemary neighborhood in Bonita Springs. Ya tú sabes, los quiero mucho, gracias por ver los videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe.